49er faithful. Can the 49ers beat the Indianapolis Colts on a Monday?
I'm a 49er. I bleed red and gold. I've been faithful since I was 2 years old. We about to start quick and count another ring. Being a 49er mean I'm a 49er.
49er faithful, it is I, Filmo Trev, coming to you live. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about the San Francisco 49ers battling the Indianapolis Colts on Monday. So we have plenty of time to have great dialogue, great conversations. But I want you guys to do me a favor. Relax. Kick up your feet. Find a decent spot in your house, or if you're at work, or if you're listening to me on the road, make sure you have me plugged in safe, because there's a lot of things that we are going to discuss and talk about today. And on top of it, how are you doing out there? Let me know right now. Faithful Lean, I see you in the chat already. What it do, brother? We got Papa Jake Faithful already in the chat. What it do, brother? Listen, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good, healthy day of great conversations. And I am challenging you all to lock in for the next hour, because, yes, we're going to be talking for the next hour. So stay tight, lock in. And I want to tell you guys real quick about my last 24 hours. Yes, I'm going to tell you about my last 24 hours because it's about Brandon Ayuk. Here we go. So, I believe it was Tuesday night or Monday night, I reached out directly to Brandon Ayuk. Yes, I reached out directly to Brandon Ayuk, and I asked him a very solid question. I said, would you like to have a conversation to speak about your side of the story? So I sent him a direct message, and I'm not going to post my message, but I did reach out to him and asked him if he would like to have a conversation. Podcast, come on to the Faithful Talk podcast, and we'll have dialogue about what's been going on. Anything that he felt okay talking about. Now, some of you out there are like, why on earth would you reach out to Brandon Ayuk to have a conversation with someone who is clearly not in the right headspace? Well, some of you don't understand that I actually work in the mental health field. So this is right up my alley, and this is not a thing for me to judge. It's a spot for me to support. I see a young man going through issues that need support. And I don't know his background, how his family life is, or his wife, or anything like that. That's none of my business. But what is my concern is I'm seeing a man crash out before our very eyes and shows that he doesn't care about football. So I wanted an opportunity for him to change the narrative of that and to have a conversation with someone who genuinely cares about his mental health before the football player. So I reached out to him. And if you would like for that interview, that podcast to happen, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to drop in the chat right now my @name, @FilmoTrev. And you all will have the opportunity to @my name, @Brandon Ayuk's name on Instagram, and tag us both and say you guys want that interview of me interviewing Brandon Ayuk in a podcast form to have a real conversation. I think it'll be very, very, very healthy and very good. But this is something that needs to happen. It needs to happen. If you care about humans in general, this should be a space where you say, you know what? He does need to talk to someone. You guys have been listening to me talk for almost over a year now on this channel. Some of you have been listening to me almost for 6 years on Facebook. And I think you guys all know, and women know, that I'm coming from a loving space of just wanting to see him get on the right track. I don't believe this is the actual real Brandon Ayuk, in my opinion. I believe this is coming from a stint of changing everything. Everything in his world has changed. And I think he deserves a space to have a conversation. Am I wrong for that? Let me know. Am I wrong for that, for wanting to have that type of a conversation? Yes. Right now in the chat, I do have that comment up. I do need to change that. So I will change that. So my apologies. I will change that. They are playing the Colts, which I think is going to be a phenomenal, terrific game. terrific game. And if this is your first time watching me, please give me a follow. Please subscribe to the Faithful Talk on YouTube, where we can have good conversations. Now, other things, other matters, other things that we do need to discuss. We need to talk about the Indianapolis Colts. Who are they? What are they doing? How did they get here? Well, they had Daniel Jones. If you don't remember him, he was the 6'7" quarterback that was phenomenal, but was playing in a shitty organization. I don't care what anybody says. The New York Giants is a shitty organization that shouldn't have a franchise. Neither should the Jets. But the Giants, on the other hand, they have won Super Bowls. So I can't really call them shitty, but I can say that they're just not a well-run organization. So Daniel Jones left. And what did Daniel Jones do? Daniel Jones went to the Indianapolis Colts and proved that it's not him, the quarterback, it's the Giants that suck. He was having a phenomenal year. He was balling out of control. He had everything at his grasp, to be honest with you. He had Jonathan Taylor. He had a first-round draft pick tight end. He had superstars. He was balling. He got hurt. I don't know off the top of my head if it was the Achilles or the knee, but it was something below the belt that he's injured for the rest of the season. And it's horrible because he was having a phenomenal year. And if he kept on balling like that, I do believe he would have had a shooter's chance to win the MVP for this season and comeback player of the year without a shadow of a doubt. It's definitely him. But whether here or there, the Colts decided to sign Phillip Rivers. And I have on my own productive on my internet about BA, but you should have a conversation because I feel like he has the Debo syndrome. I agree. I definitely agree. Definitely agree, Brother Ling. But how do I say this in the most respectful way? I believe Brandon Ayuk is not dealing with the Debo syndrome. I don't think he is. I think the Debo syndrome, because Debo's always had money. Even when he was at South Carolina, Debo had money. Debo was never humble. Debo was always arrogant. Debo was always wanting to have the light on him. Brandon Ayuk, that wasn't the case. Brandon Ayuk was a humbled, quiet individual who loved football, had the same girlfriend. He just loved football. Something triggered him. Something's off, in my opinion. Something's off. Is it the money? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Maybe it was the money. But I don't believe it was the money that completely switched him. Because name another man that would get almost $100 million and go backwards mentally to want to start to dress more like someone who makes $50,000. Like, I love Kodak Black music, but if I'm worth $100 million, there would be no way in God's green earth I would be trying to dress like Kodak Black. I'm worth $100 million. Why would I want to cover up my face with a Pooh Shiesty mask that shows poverty, shows, danger? Those are the things that come with those type of ingredients. With the gold teeth that I ain't gonna lie. I love the gold diamond teeth. That's my thing. That's my culture. But I'm worth $100 million. I should be trying to advance my portfolio and keep it going. But he's not. He's trying to look like someone who's worth Project Section 8 living. So that has to be mental health, right? That has to be. No man on this earth, even like think about Terrell Owens, think about Antonio Brown. They got more money. None of them wanted to dress like a thug. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not diminishing and looking down on, hip hop culture because that's my culture. That's where I come from. But I do look down on a man who's digressing mentally, as in not wanting to advance his portfolio. And something that I also noticed with Brandon Ayuk is that he's really pushing this logo of the B, the Brandon logo. If you look at his Instagram pictures, it's his brand, Brown. Well, not Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk. There we go. Forgive me. He's really pushing this Brandon Ayuk brand with this B, and he's pushing his brand more than he's pushing his football brand. That's very odd. Like, he went to college. And he took marketing, finance, and everything. There's nowhere in the books of finance or anything of branding and marketing that tells you that you should push your brand more than the brand that's paying you to push theirs. There's a time and a place. And let's be quite honest here, because I look at those pictures of him with the drinking a juice box at Icebox Jewelry, little ratchet ghetto spot in Atlanta buying jewelry. And all of his friends has on a Pooh Shiesty mask with the Brandon Ayuk logo on the side of the Pooh Shiesty mask. They're wearing these windbreaker jackets with the branding of Brandon Ayuk, his branding. But there's no website where you can actually purchase any of this clothing. You can't purchase a Brandon Ayuk Pooh Shiesty mask. You can't purchase a Brandon Ayuk windbreaker. You can't purchase none of that. But he's promoting that on his social media. Y'all don't think it's still CTE? Y'all don't think that this man's out of his mind? He's not selling merchandise, but he's making merchandise. Someone has to be out there cock-a-doodle-doo to do that, right? Like, who prints up 100 Pooh Shiesty masks and gives them to their two best friends and wears one and doesn't sell them to anybody? That sounds like someone with some brain trauma, right? Or am I wrong? Let me know. I don't know. I just think that I just think it's odd. Very, very odd. Nah, BA let his family get to his head after the Super Bowl, and he was about the team and his family wanting him to make it about him. I'm gonna post that right there, Brother Lane. I'm gonna post that right there. I want everyone in the chat that's watching right now to do me a favor and read that after I read it, and give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions, y'all. Give me your opinions on that one. That's a good one. His family is the cause of why Brandon Ayuk is thinking about himself and not the team. The Super Bowl was 3 years ago, and he's still harping about that. That's also more reason why I would say it's CTE or brain something. Like, it was 3 years ago. He can't let it go. Like, he can't motivate himself to make a workout video. I don't know. I definitely do think so. I think that there needs to be a deeper conversation, but there has to be something that we're not talking about when it comes to Brandon Ayuk. There has to be something that's not being talked about, that's not being said. Has to be. Like, no one does this. No one. Anyone in the right mind would never make merchandise and not have a website, not talk about it. Like, you ain't Kanye? I don't know. It's odd. I think it's very, very odd what's going on with Brandon, and it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate to watch Brandon crash out like this over peanuts. Nothing valuable, nothing tangible, nothing good. He's just, The more and more I sit here and I think about it, I really do feel sorry for Brandon because I don't think there's going to be a team. No, that's a lie. There's going to be a team that says they can change him and fix him. Absolutely. But you did not want to, like, you lost money, millions. You don't care. Like, you don't wish to have this conversation and like really heal. Like, who in the organization hurts you that bad for you to lose out on $26 million? What conversation? Like, for me to lose out on $26 million and never come back to my job, someone called my mama the N-word, someone touched my mama, someone cussed out my father, someone put their hands on me. I don't think any of that happened. And if it did happen, I would love for Brandon to have that discussion and tell us. It just doesn't feel safe. Like, I don't feel Brandon is safe right now. Like, think about this. This man flew in a private jet with some homeboys to Atlanta to buy jewelry during the season when he should be training. Like, he jumped on a plane from like, think about, like, hold on, like I need you guys to really think about what I just said right now. Okay, think about this. Okay, Brandon jumped on a plane from California to Atlanta to buy jewelry. California has some of the best jewelers in the world. And you go down to Atlanta, to Georgia, to buy diamonds? Like, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. You're living in the Bay Area. The best cuts of diamonds. Because if y'all didn't know this, all the billionaire wives live in Santa Clara, live in Mountain View, live in Palo Alto. And the cuts of their diamonds are the best in the world. And Brandon, with his small crumbs of $100 million, flew to Atlanta to get a Brandon made of jewelry. That don't seem odd? The best of everything is in California. And you're flying to Georgia to get some bullshit jewelry made. It don't make no sense, y'all. It don't. It don't make sense. I can sit here and ramble as much as I want, but none of the things that he is doing is making any type of sense, y'all. It's not. You got all the money in the world and you can make the best documentary video of you working out, you rehabilitating, you doing all the things, and you don't shoot out a video? Nothing? You just chilling? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. And that's why I said I wanted to talk to him. I reached out to him. Again, I'll put in the chat one more time. At Filmotrev, please. At Brandon Ayuk, at me, and tell Brandon Ayuk you would love to see a Filmotrev interview. I promise to not be abrasive. I'm going to be extremely, extremely respectful. And I want to have a conversation with Brandon to really know what's going on with him. Because he deserves to have his narrative spoke about. The 49ers should not have the chance to speak about him the way that they've been talking about him. Because I don't believe he's a bad man. I just think he's a man who's going through some extra things. Extra things. Papa J, what up? Faithful J, how you doing, brother? But let's change this conversation a little bit. Just a little bit. We need to have a conversation about, hold on. I love it when people say, let's go Niners in the chat. I love it. Absolutely love it. Christian McCaffrey. This should be a good conversation because Christian McCaffrey is on pace to have back-to-back 1,000 receiving, 1,000 rushing. And my question to you out there is, at what detriment is it to the actual team? Why is it that how do I say this? Why is it that Kyle Shanahan feels it's okay to have a running back leading the team in receptions? Think about that. A running back is leading the team in receptions. I do feel that the 49ers lost 2 games that they should have won. I believe the Jacksonville Jaguars game was a game the 49ers should have won if we played Mac Jones. But ego, pride, that got in the way. I do believe as well the 49ers should have beat the Rams. Nah, take that back. Only one game. That second Rams game, there was no way the Rams were going to lose that game. We had no options on defense. We couldn't stop the 3 tight end. It was just embarrassing. We got outcoached that game. So I'm not going to put that on the players. We got outcoached that game. I see this in the chat, so I want to talk about it. How do we stop 44-year-old Phillip Rivers? Father Time has already stopped him. Phillip Rivers is out of shape. And Phillip Rivers does have the still Phillip Rivers mind. But I think the Indianapolis Colts was stupid and shows how badly poor the Indianapolis Colts are ran. You go get a 44-year-old, I'll say it, white quarterback who's out of shape, who looks like he's been drinking about 8 beers a day, instead of getting Cam Newton, who's in perfect shape. How does that make any sense? Except you didn't want to deal with Cam Newton, the personality. Now, you could have also gotten Kaepernick. Yes, Colin Kaepernick. I said his name. Colin Kaepernick. Y'all could have got him. He ain't got no dust on him. All he been doing is doing talking seminars for the past, 5 years. But y'all don't even get him. I think, and this is from someone who's been to Indianapolis a many a times. Yes, I'm going to say it right now. I've been to Minneapolis a many a times. Minneapolis is one of the most racist places I have ever been for a black man. It is very racist there. Now, if you're not a person of color, you can't tell me I'm lying. Only people who live in Indianapolis that look like me, sound like me, feel like me, understand what I'm talking about, will talk about Indianapolis. Indianapolis really chose to pick a 44-year-old, 6 beer drinking, 10 baby kids to be their starting quarterback on a team that had the potential to go to the Super Bowl. Instead of getting Cam Newton, who's in shape and can throw the ball and can lead this team. Listen, y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. And some of y'all might not even agree. But I gave 2 phenomenal options at quarterback. That's like getting Brett Favre right now. I think they should put a conversation in Tom Brady to come back. Phillip Rivers? Like, I like Phillip Rivers, but he's not him. You know damn well Phillip Rivers is not better than Cam Newton. Put that in the chat right now. I'm really curious right now. Put that in the chat right now. Is Phillip Rivers better than Cam Newton? I really want y'all to tell me this. I want to see how many people are delusional about football right now. Really delusional about football. Because anybody with football mind would tell you out your rabbit ass mind to take Phillip Rivers over Cam Newton right now. So the 49ers will win. They made it easy for the 49ers. They made it extremely easy for the 49ers. Extremely easy for the 49ers, okay? This will not be a blowout game. No. But the 49ers should win this game by 2 touchdowns. Buckner is going to play lights out football. I'm going to tell you right now, Buckner on the defensive line, he's going to have at least 2 sacks. If you don't think Buckner from the Colts is going to have 2 sacks, you don't understand a man's pride and a man's ego. The 49ers, and I blame this on Lynch, decided to take Eric Armstead and allow Buckner to go on the open market and get $21 million a season. I'm surprised John Lynch didn't get fired when he made that decision. You took Eric Armstead over Fred Buckner. Easiest, dumbest decision this regime has made in the last 15 years. No, last 10 years. Last 10 years. Easy. Easy. The dumbest decision. Buckner's about to be a Hall of Fame defensive tackle. And you didn't want to give him $22 million a year, and you thought you can have the same productivity out of Eric Armstead? I know, but this is where people say I don't know nothing about football. I don't know nothing about football. Don't make me pull up Eric Armstead's stats and Buckner's. The embarrassment. It's crazy. I still believe Buckner's going to play. If you don't think Buckner's going to get his ass off of IR to play this game, I don't think you know the fight of a dog. And we all can agree Buckner has the fight of an actual dog. Don't think Buckner going to play. You crazy. You crazy if you don't think Buckner going to play. Buckner going to light the hell out of our left guard. Pony has no chance. I don't care who you line up between the guards and the center. They don't have a chance against Buckner. And I'm going to take even a step further. I'm going to say it right now, and some of y'all might disagree, but it'll just show your football knowledge. Buckner's a better defensive lineman than any offensive lineman we have right now. Right now, Buckner's better than all of our offensive line. You can line them all up one by one in a one-on-one drill. Guarantee Buckner's going to whoop all their ass. Easy. Trent Williams included. That's not a hot take. That is not a hot take. That's a fact. Name an offensive lineman on the 49ers roster right now that could cook Buckner's ass right now. That can really put foot to ass in Buckner right now. I want to see this in the comments. I got to see this. Because I don't think it's true. And I don't think y'all think it's true. Buckner plays, he's going to have a field day. He is. He just is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And you're just going to have to reap the consequences of it. I have a question for you, Trev. Why can't our defensive coach up on the ball when they are keeping them dropping the ball and the Jordan Ottoman is going to catch Brock Purdy's interceptions? Hold on. How do I even answer this one? Let me think real quick. Why can't our defensives catch up to ball when they can keep the drop ball? Draw Ottoman is going to catch. Can you rewrite that for me? Maybe it's because I'm reading it wrong, but rewrite that for me, please. Because I think this might be a good question if you're asking what I think you're asking, but I need you to rewrite that for me, please. Because I want to answer that appropriately with actual knowledge. If Brock Purdy throws an interception, it'll be at the tip ball. It won't be because of his own mistake. I'm going to bet you $1 on that. I'm going to take that bet, Papa J. Right now, I'm 1-0 in bets against you, but I'm willing to bet you $1, like our all bets are, that Brock Purdy throws an actual interception. Like I'm talking about, like no tip drill, just a stupid bonehead error. I'm going to take that bet. Papa J, do you take my bet? Let me know in the comments. Now, I want you to know history is on my side with this bet. History's on my side with this bet right here. Hold on. Jake Brendel will put Buckner on his ass. Y'all go follow. Listen. Y'all go follow faithful Papa J. Papa J, brother. I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, okay. Now that makes sense. I think the reason why we're dropping balls in the secondary is because right now we just don't got the hot hand. Like, I think we can. I just don't think the 49ers really have the hot hand for interceptions right now. We just haven't had the hot hands for interceptions. Interceptions is really a fluff stat that looks really good, but you just got to be in the right place at the right time and come down with the ball. And my coach always told me there's a reason why there's DBs, because they can't catch, they can't be a wide receiver. Wide receivers are wide receivers because they can catch the ball. DBs are DBs because they were wide receivers that could not catch the ball. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Papa J, the bet is officially on. The bet is officially on. I'll bet you $1.49. So that way I can get my $1.49 back from the last bet. So that's the bet. Everyone's a witness to this bet right now. I'm betting faithful Papa J that Brock Purdy throws an actual interception. Not a tip ball, but an actual interception. History's on my side that he gonna throw one. He gonna throw one of them. He gonna throw one of them for sure. But we'll see. We shall see. Oh, and just to be answer some more other questions in the chat right quick, just to answer some more stuff. Kendrick Bourne needs one more catch to make 500,000. I think we all want Kendrick Bourne to receive his 500,000 for Christmas. All he needs is one catch, 1 yard, I think, and he gets $500,000. I truly do hope Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan makes the right decision and gets him the ball within the first 3 snaps, so he can get that past them and get to the game. Hopefully that will happen. Faithful Papa J, I will not take that bet because I'm telling you right now, you're going to be down, and I'm going to have $3. I'm going to have $3. You take that bet. I'm going to have $3. I won't take the Jake Brendel bet. Okay, there we go. You won't take it. There we go. And I think Jauan Jennings also needs 50 yards and he gets 500,000. I really do want to see these wide receivers get paid because they've been working like dog the whole year. They deserve it. They deserve it. I have no idea why we lost Autumn. Like he was nice. I don't know why we released him though. I don't get it. Why? We definitely shouldn't have released him. He was damn good. I don't know. The 49ers this season really has made some bonehead decisions that I don't condone. It's been odd. It's been very, 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 very odd. And matter of fact, hold on. If anyone likes to get on the chat, what I'm gonna do is this: invite guest, copy link. I'm gonna put in the chat right now. If anyone wants to come on and talk some 49er football, this is your chance. If you're on TikTok, much love. If you want to talk right now with your boy, jump in the comments or send a request. I'll add you to the Faithful Talk right now, and we can hear you. I do want to do that more. I definitely want to talk to y'all more. I definitely want to talk to y'all more and give y'all opportunity to talk to me. Definitely want to give that opportunity. Oh. And matter of fact, y'all, how about this? I'm going to come on here tonight and we can have a deeper dialogue, okay? Deeper dialogue. So, do me a favor. If this is your first time watching, please subscribe. If this is your second time watching, ring the bell. And if this is your third time watching, you're officially a 49er Faithful with the Faithful